Hello everyone, Siri Emerald here, and this will be an unboxing video of the Toysbox Hall of Armor 3.0, designed for the Iron Man figures. They also make a Avengers boxes, very similar to this, just a slight difference. So this I picked up from a toy retailer in Singapore and had it shipped to me, and assembled a couple of them already. So I'm going to now show you how to do it, and maybe you might want to consider adding this to your collection of ways to display your Iron Man figures. This is designed to be similar to the way that Tony Stark had them stored in his wine cellar, which is what we call it there, where it's actually below his wine cellar. And so it would work really good if that's what you're building for that capacity. They're angled a little bit, but they would have to actually be angled more to get them into the circle that we would have for that. So there they are. You'll see it fits a Iron Man Mark 33, which is indicative of a normal sized Iron Man figure. It fits also very nicely the Mark 36 there, which is a little bit larger than the standard figure. It will not fit the Igor. It won't fit anything larger than that, so you should be able to get them in there. The feet on the Mark 33 appear to fit well in the little area there in the bottom. Not too bad in that regards. The stand, it's a little loose. I've not been able to get it in there tight enough. A little disappointed in that. But it is nice, and other than that, it lights up at the top also, which really illuminates nicely on the figure. And as I was saying, all in all, it's not bad. I feel it's worth the price that I paid for it. Could they have done a couple things differently? Certainly. It sure could have. So, is it perfect? No. Is it perfect for me? Oh yeah. Does it beat the styrofoam piece that Hot Toys provided for us if we wanted to have a Hall of Armor? Oh, you better believe it. It's tons better than the styrofoam pieces. So I recommend it if you are looking for that type of a way of displaying your figures. The door is effective. You can display it without the door. Obviously, it's not required. It's not permanently attached. The door will stay on there. It'll keep the dust off for the most part. It's not hermetically sealed or anything like that, but it does its job of doing just what it's designed to do. Keep your figures in there. Keep them out of the dust. So, without further ado, let's open this up, talk about what we have. So when we open it up here, we have our foam cover that they put on it, and the first thing that we see is this, and I have no idea what this is even for. It says open me, but there's nothing to open. It's just a sticker. I think maybe it went on the outside of the box perhaps for retailers. I don't really know, but that is what it's called at sea. Hall of Armor 3.0, made by Toysbox for 1/6 Iron Man. This probably was a way of sealing the case up. I'm not sure it's actually a sticker. And so the first thing we have here is the front sheet, which is the door, if you will. The instructions right there, real simple. Not even any really words. And I'll show you how to put it together. I'll literally build this one right here in front of you. The back piece, so it goes in this manner. I've seen one built in this manner, and I suppose if you want to build it this way, you can do whatever you want. No one could tell you how to build your Iron Man display case, but in all honesty, in all truthfulness, this is the direction that it should go. So it comes with, in here, you'll have a little package which is the stand, a little plastic, soft plastic stand with the hooks to rest your figure in. These are the little foot rests for your figure right there that you can put in if you want them. For instance, I'm not using the foot rests with the Mark 36 as his feet are larger than the area to put them in, but I am using the foot rests with the Mark 33. This is the top portion here and the connections for that, and this is the bottom here. These aren't really in the exact same spots as they were on the pieces made by Hot Toys, so I think I would have liked to seen this opened up a little further apart here. I would like it wider. I would have liked this hole back a little more, and I also think it would be really cool if they could have implemented the sliding pieces that are on the Hot Toys pieces. Other than that, it works really well for my purposes of what I'm looking forward to. It will do its task. Now, another complaint I have is the way that they package this. They put this piece of styrofoam in here to surround those pieces that I just pulled out. Underneath here are the side panels. These are the sides. If you notice, here and here are the pieces of those sides. Instead of them being inside the styrofoam and protected, they are on the outsides. Needless to say, of the 10 that I had delivered here from overseas, 10 of these pieces were damaged in the shipment. As you know, shipping companies are the way shipping companies are, and they drop, damage, kick, throw about trash, allow them to be stood on, stepped on, stacked up with, and all sorts of weight applied to them, and there's literally nothing but this little piece of cardboard here protecting this piece here. They really need to rethink this. I contacted the store. They told me they were sending more of them out to me. I've not received them yet. They're literally on a slow boat from China, so when they get here, they will get here. So that's my biggest complaint in regards to the packaging and shipping of that, is they really should have really thought that out, instead of having this plexiglass, which is really thin, right there on the outside of that, and then trusting the shippers to handle it with care. And because we know we're all human, we all make mistakes, and it obviously wasn't handled very well by the shipping company. So what we have in here, though, are the side panels. Yeah, and see, here's one of the ones that are broken. So let me go get one of the ones that I have that is not broken. I'll be right back. Let's check this one. Maybe this is another broken piece, because I had to contact them to tell them that they were. Yeah, this is another one that was broken. So let me go to my boxes that I have and get two of them that are not of the broken caliber, and be right back. Okay, so I went and grabbed two more. Like I said, I had 10 of these shipped to me. I've assembled 2 so far. I have not assembled the others. I was able to find enough pieces to build 5. So I built 2 so far, and I will build this one in front of you, and I'll be waiting on the other pieces from the retailer / Toysbox to be able to continue. And that's the rest of the box. The box is now empty. These are the side pieces right here. Now, one good thing about this is it doesn't matter if this is the left or if this is the right. It doesn't matter. They've really engineered this well, whether this is top and bottom like that, or whether it's top and bottom like this, whether this is the left piece or the right piece. They are completely interchangeable. Excellent engineering, in my opinion, for that feat. That I highly applaud them on. So let's start with let's put the sides aside. And the first thing that we need to test is the light up ability. And I say that because you always want to make sure that this works. Now this is covered in plastic. We're going to take that off here in a minute. One thing that they didn't include are the batteries. The batteries I found that work best for this is the CR2450. It's a thicker battery than some of the other ones. It's a lot larger than a 2032 or any other like watch battery you might be familiar with. It's 3 volts, so that means this is a 6-volt system, and that juices it up. And let's go ahead and put those in right now. Get my little Phillips head screwdriver, which anybody that collects Iron Man toys needs to have a jeweler's screwdriver. Phillips head, definitely. And as a matter of fact, you need to have the whole set because, for instance, the Igor requires a little bit larger screwdriver, and some of the other ones require a little bit more finer screwdriver. But for the most part, I use the middle screwdriver from my set. Now this is really in there pretty tight. It doesn't snap in, but it's in there good. So I'm going to use a little screwdriver to pry it up here. Alright, so we're just going to set this aside. I'm going to keep all the screws in it right there. Set it aside there so we don't lose the screws. Now there's a little blue diagram right on the outside of this case. Let me show you that, I guess. That shows you how it goes. It's a little difficult to see, and see if I can get the light to illuminate it there. Don't know if you can see that or not, but what it shows is that by the switch, which is this side, there's your switch, and there's a spot that's by the switch. You put the battery up, and on the other side you put the battery down. So battery up, plus sign up. Put it on this side, and the other side we're going to put the battery down. And actually, right here is a little bitty circle inside it also that says minus or plus. So this is a little plus saying that it wants the plus side down here, and so we're going to put the minus side up. And so there's that nomenclature on there designating which way it goes, and there is that instruction on that. But interestingly enough, there's no instruction on the sheet in regards to the batteries. And also, as I said, I didn't include the batteries. So I actually had to do a little digging to find which battery actually fit with it perfectly. And that was a little off. That caught me a little off guard. I didn't expect that. So let's put this screwdriver over here, the flathead that we use for prying with. Lock that in because I'm done with that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug it in. And these plugs are universal. So like I said, it doesn't matter if you put it in upside down or right side up in regards to the back. Make sure when you plug this in, and it is a pretty much, this connection is pretty much foolproof. You really can't mess it up. But just to make sure that you know, when you're plugging it in, just take your time. Make sure that the red wire is on the same side on both sides. So you have a red wire and a black wire, and when you plug them in, it still stays red to red and black to black. But it should plug in. And just to test it, you don't have to push it in all the way. We're going to put the cover on here, and you don't have to screw it in all the way. We just want to get the contact, which there's a little gold or brass contact or copper contact right there underneath there. We're just going to lay that on top. We're going to push it down enough to make sure there's good contact and that we can actuate the switch on and off. So we're going to slide the switch to the on position, and there we have a light. And the reason it's flickering is because it's not all tied in. It won't flicker once we've got it together. And so now we're going to Test the other side. And obviously, as you can see, it's not a looped system. The top is not dependent upon the bottom to work, and vice versa. So it literally can work with one or the other if it were to be bad. So we're going to make sure we have the red and the black on here. I'm just going to get those connections in there just a little bit, just enough to test. We're just testing it at this point before we assemble it, because you don't want to assemble this and find out that it's bad. And there we go. We have a working piece. So let's go ahead and turn this off. Flip that switch off. And now, since we do know it works, we can go ahead and screw this together. If you have multiples, you may want to test each one while you're doing this. It's really up to you how you want to do it, but I definitely recommend testing it before putting it together. You'll be sorry otherwise if it doesn't, if you didn't do that, and then have to take it apart because something isn't connected properly someplace. So now that we know that that works, and we have the batteries in properly, tighten that up. Okay, now this is plexiglass, or acrylic is another term that I've heard used for it. It's assembled. So let's go ahead and take this off. Show you how pretty this is once this is off. It comes off relatively easy. If you get the right rhythm on it, you can take it off with one pull. So there we go. It came off pretty simple. Place that over there. And this also, it just peels right off. Now, if you don't peel this off on areas that aren't going to be displayed, for instance, on those two that I've assembled, I decided not to remove it from the bottom. Okay, and on one of those, I decided not to remove it from the back. I mean, there are areas that are not ever going to be seen, ever, for whatever reason. What's the point in showing off the back of it to anybody? It's just black plexiglass or black acrylic, whatever you want to call it. So I decided not to remove the backing on one. The bad thing about that is, in time, this glue that is holding this will become less and less capable of coming off easily. And should you decide later that you do want to remove it, you're going to more than likely have a little difficulty getting it off, and will then have to use some form of a solvent or an abrasive to remove it. So you should make the decision if you're going to remove it or not, and then stick with it. If you decide to remove it, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with taking it off. I thought maybe if I left it on, it would keep a nicer appearance. It's the back. It's just like a piece of art that you have hanging on the wall. Who really looks at the back of it? It's got paper back there. If you have it framed someplace, they put a piece of brown paper back there. It may have some information on it, saying information about who framed it, what the artist is, anything on there. But for the most part, you don't really look at the back of it. So I decided to leave it on. So that's my choice. I just shared it with you. And I did the same thing with the bottom. Now, the bottom did not come with any type of rubber feet or anything. You can get rubber feet, I'm sure. Might be a good idea to do that if you were to install the rubber feet on there with a little glue on, tack on rubber feet. You may want to remove the cardboard. I have not put any rubber feet on mine as yet. May I? Possibly. Hard to say as of right now. So there's that. So we've got that removed, and now let's remove these. And this is probably the hardest part, is to remove all these pieces. The paper sometimes works easily for you and comes right up. Sometimes the paper got a little glue on it in the assembly process, and so it will be difficult for you. Sometimes, as you notice, the paper rips, and then you have to pry around to get it. So just take your time, no rush. There's the LEDs on this are 6 LEDs on the top and 6 LEDs on the bottom. That's what these are powering. I'm being a little exact here. This piece you won't even see. This will be covered up back here, so really not necessary. I don't know why I'm wasting time with this. This piece you'll see, because this is where the clear sidewalls will be. We do want to get this up. Let's try another spot. Let's keep this. Now this piece is the top. Now this piece really is, paper is really thin on this piece. That head won't break apart this much yet. First time having this. Toysbox, again in my opinion, they really did a great job with this. I'm really pleased with this. This is what Hot Toys should have done for us, instead of providing that styrofoam piece that they did. And hey, if you bought it, that, and you like it, all the more power to you. Me, no. Wasn't impressed with it at all. That's the Toysbox logo right there. Cut into it. Again, when they fabricated these pieces, this portion of it again is completely identical. What is different is this piece right here. That's what's different on it. Other than that, these bases here, exact same piece. So clever thinking on their behalf. They really did a good job with that. I applaud them for that thinking. Too many times someone will come up with a great idea and they can't wait to rush it, and they don't think it through all the way. I remember when I was a little kid, the big thing was peeling apples. So peel the apples for apple pie, and it was quite a feat to be able to peel the apple with one without breaking the skin. And I remember always trying to see who could get the longest apple peel, without having to break the skin on that. And since this is the top, like I said, we're going to take this off also. There's our top piece. Red to red, black to black. And now we're going to clean this piece off here. And the bottom two pieces, as I was saying earlier, are identical to the ones we just cleaned off. Some of you probably have an easier way of getting this off. If you do, share in the comments below. Let us all know your trick to getting this paper off. I remember working with this plexiglass shop in junior high school many years ago. See if we can get this name up here without having to go back in there to get it. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, so sorry about that, my camera went dead, so change that out, so continue on where we are. As I was saying, this is the bottom. I'm not going to take that off. I'm going to leave that right on there. More than welcome to take it off if you want. If I decide to put little pieces on there, then I'll probably take it off. Not real certain at this point. As of right now, I'm not removing that. So let's get this plugged in here. And now we'll do the side panels. You know, I was just thinking, I don't know why I attached both the top and the bottom, because when I assembled it, I assembled either the top or the bottom first, not at the same time. So let's get this off. Last couple pieces I got to unplug one of those and work around that. And the last piece is the door. Put two little thin pieces of plastic on that. But this is the top. Okay. So what we're going to do now, though, is we want to tuck this wire into that slot right there. I don't know if you can see that slot there. We're going to hide that wire in that slot. So we're going to tuck that up in there. Okay. Make sure that gets up in there. Just take your time. Just give it a little soft little push. Encouragement. Shove. I'm going to try to line these holes up here, like such. And I'm going to use a little screwdriver here to get those pieces up in there a little better. I don't want to damage the wire. Just want to get it in there, like such. Okay. Now I don't want to close this yet, because all this fits together. So we're going to line up sides with this, and we're just kind of, placing it in its place for right now. Just kind of placing it where the tabs and the slots go. And it'll start going together with a little bit of patience. Just want to take your time with it, be patient. So we're now, it's not all together yet. Okay, it's just kind of sitting wherever the holes are. So we're not going to shove it together quite yet. I'm going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to kind of line up the holes, because it all goes in at the same time. So we want to get everything just kind of lined up where it belongs. And then I find it's best when I do it to start down here and get those in, and then we're going to work these in, and then as we work these in, we're also going to push this in at the same time. Okay, give this a little tap like that. It's all going to fit snugly. There's no gluing required on any of this. You can glue it if you want. Maybe try some aquarium glue or bathroom caulking. I don't see a problem with having to do that. Well, look at that. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. That just got broken clean off of that. I haven't encountered that yet. That's a new one on me. Wow, this guy is not wanting to cooperate, and got another little crack in him right there. I have not had this happen on the others. Wow. And I'll tell you the reason why it doesn't happen like this is because everything is at the same height. These tabs here are the same height as these tabs. So when you have it together, there shouldn't be any adverse pressure pushing into anything anywhere else to cause it to pop out like that. So, that didn't work out too well, did it? was just touting how they fit together so nicely because everything is made to exacting standards. It's not because that wire's in the way, is it? No. You can see that it's up tight here. There's a gap right there. And I didn't experience that with any of the others. So this one, the seam was off when they made it evidently. No problem. I am pleased with this. It's on the back side there instead of the front, which is where the damage occurred in the shipping. And the front is plainly visible. This will be on the side. It's not even going to be noticed, in my opinion. And I'm going to be able to just glue that on with some super glue. Super glue does wonders. So I'll glue that back on right there where those two pieces popped off. And I'm not too worried about that crack. It's on the side. It's not going to be seen. So we can move forward with that. And I'll check to see the light still work, of course. And the light is working. Okay, so that's the top. And now the bottom, because we've already have this assembled, will be much easier to put together, hopefully. And we're going to make sure we do red to red, black to black. And we can check it again. Yep, here it is. Turn it off. And we're going to tuck our wires in here. And then just line them up. Just give it a little gentle tab, but we don't want to break it anymore than what it already has been. There. See how easy that goes in? Easy peasy, right? Just hammering on it a bit. There you are. You see, pushing it down to the other side. And as I was pointing out, obviously there is a noticeable gap there, and that's why we had our structure failure. And here, there is no gap. So that side, it fit fine. So that's neither here nor there. In here are the stand that we can use for this. Now, for when I put the Mark 36 in there, I use a stand that came with the Mark 36. It works best on that, but didn't work too. I don't have enough. If I had more of those, that would be great, but I don't have just the one. So I use the stand of that for the Mark 33. But Mark 33, the stand that came with this fits in a hole tighter, and it didn't fit that tight, as you can see, than the stand that fit in that. So I have a little Teflon tape down there to make that a little thicker for those purposes. I suppose I probably could have just left this protective covering that was on it around it to tighten it up. I say that as I'm removing the protective covering. Alright, so I'm going to put this in here. And it fits, I mean, it feels snug as it goes in. Holy jeez, I literally just broke that. Wow. Okay. Well, I have another one because I didn't use it with the Mark 36. So I will go get that one real quick. Alright, so I went and got another one that I had because, when I did the Mark 36 piece, I didn't need it because I used that other piece. So let's be a little more careful putting it in here. We'll place it where it belongs to twisting it once it's in place. And the piece I'm going to put in here is my Mark 21. So we'll grab him off of this. Let's get him down here, like such. Close him up. Turn him on. I like this piece. Got the little toe guards. That's what these little pieces are right here. Pull the paper off of them, because we will need them with the little guys. Don't need them with the 35 and 36. 38. Igor does not have a home. Isn't that right, Denobi? Denobi 2 made a very clever video talking about Igor needing a home. And I think he was referring to a case, display case. We don't, and so anyhow, speaking of this, see, that's the bottom, and that's the top. So the top is angled back. It's a little bit longer than that portion there. So we're going to place that right here. We don't see anything in the movie. I haven't read any of the behind the scenes stuff, but appears that Denobi has, and I have not heard of any reference of a home for him. Now, I have seen a third-party retailer or manufacturer who makes a neat little cargo container for him, which is cool. And maybe Denobi has something in mind. We'll see. Let's get him right in here. And now the door is a little tricky to get on. What you have to do with the door, it requires some preparation. This is scored right here, and we're just going to fold it up. Okay? We're just going to fold it up. Don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm just pulling up on this piece here where it's scored. I'm pulling up on this to get it the form of an L, if you will, if you can see that. So we're going to do the same thing over here. We're just going to pull it to the same direction. They both need to come up to the same side. Doesn't matter whether you do that side or this side, but whatever side you pull this one up to, we're going to pull this one up to the same side. So we're just going to fold it up. And it doesn't have to be an exact 90. You're just kind of pulling against the score. You don't want to pull so hard to break it. You're not trying to break it off. This is what's going to hold the door in place. Okay? So there we have both sides now folded up in the same direction. Okay? If you can see that. So then what we do is we insert that into this like such, and then just pull it on around. And here's where it gets a little tricky. So what I found is to kind of push this piece you just folded up back into itself to kind of straighten it out as you slide it right into that there. And we're going to keep a little curve in this piece. Slide that back in, and also while pushing this up, because it goes on the outside of that. So we're going to try. This is, like I said, this is the tricky part right there. And then just kind of slide it down and tuck it right there. And once you get it, you got it. And there you go. And now let's turn this on. And look at that. And there you have it. The Hall of Armor 3.0 from Toysbox. Let me zoom in on that. You can build your own wine cellar for your house party protocol if you so desire. it's where those pieces belong. The first 7 belong in the regular Hall of Armor, and the other ones, that's where they would have lived up through Mark 42, I would believe, minus the Mark 38, which we don't know where it lived in. So leave your comments in the section below. Like my videos, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter. I'm going to start posting on Instagram. I have an Instagram account, it's Siri Emerald. I've just never posted anything on Instagram, so I'm going to start throwing some pictures up on Instagram. Stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching. Happy collecting.